welcome to this episode. And today, this isn't one of my builds, but a lot of people are going to recognize it because it is a Diamond City Cycles build. And this was done years ago for the Cafe Racer channel, which was on Discovery. And this is one of the bikes that was built. So if you haven't seen that yet, head over to the Diamond City Cycles website. You can actually see the entire build for this. But this bike is sat here in the workshop, and it's too nice not to show it to you guys. So a lot of effort went into this, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The attention to detail in it, every little bit. I mean, I can't imagine how many hours went into this build, but the attention to detail is so meticulous on it. Here it is.
Great is that?
So for this, I'm probably going to change over to my GoPro because it's easy to get into all the nooks and crannies. But here is a breakdown of all the bike. Now, if you want to find out more about the parts and everything like that, then head to the link that's in the description below, and you can find out the entire story about it, the entire page about it, and including a parts list on the parts you can get. Now, bear in mind that not all these parts are available because some are customized and fabricated just for this bike, but the majority of the parts are there. So if you want to find out what they are, head to the link below. Now, obviously I wanted to show you this bike because the attention of detail that's gone into it. So I've switched to my GoPro now so I can get into all the nooks and crannies. This is a CB450 twin overhead cam, and a lot of work has gone into it. So in a nutshell, drums at the rear, drums at the front, and let's start from the back to the front, I reckon. So you've got this little brass covers here, brass rivets. Obviously that's, you know, potentially to cool down the brakes. Lovely spoke finish on here, bit dusty at the moment, that needs a bit of a clean before going off to the Barber Vintage Festival. These lovely little turn signals at the back, complete with obviously brass ends. Got lovely little brass ends of this exhaust here. So these exhausts do come from the website here as stock, but as stock they don't come with the actual brass fittings at the end here. So that is something extra. If you want to do that, you're gonna have to do it yourself. Detail on the rear shocks here. Up here you've obviously got the name, the Brass Cafe. How neat is that? Hand painted. All these lines are hand done. Make sure I don't knock myself on that sticking out. I should really remove that. Custom rear sets here, all fabric wrapped. Brass ends, no ends of brass here at all. These velocity stacks, they need a bit of polishing actually, but these velocity stacks, unfortunately not stocked at Diamond City Cycles, but Diamond City do sell velocity stacks as well, but these ones, they are brass. This neat little seat cowl here, now this is a custom seat cowl and there's not much of a seat at all to it. It's really thin and a pretty hard ride, but I mean, essentially you're not going to want comfort. You're not going to be doing long distances if you're going to be riding that at all. Engine's all powder coated as well. Nice little polished ends, sweeping exhaust. Let's drop this lift quickly. And whilst I am on this side, actually, check out that. More attention to detail, more brass finishing here. Little brass ends. There's even little brass tops to these Mikuni carbs here. This is the neat part. So, little breather pipe, obviously brass again, running down to the bottom. Bit more detail than what's, you know, what's standard or what's needed. It just actually goes to add to that detail, and that is lovely. That's some really nice solutions to the little breather pipe there. This is the best part of the tank as well. Old-fashioned fuel cap. I'm trying to open it without letting anything bang or clamp or anything like that. How neat is that? And on the front here, crafty, nostalgic speed. Let's tie that up before I actually drop it on the tank. I really don't want to damage the paintwork on this at all. Up to the speed on tacho, which is stocked here. Really nice levers, bar end mirrors, obviously a standard. Really nice bar grips, complete with a little metal detail at the end. Levers, which are stocked here, but just the end is shaped into a little club there just to match the emblem on the back. All the way to the front, to the yellow, kind of a light yellow, a pale yellow headlight. And then onto the front brakes as well. Twin shoes on this. You've got cable going down and then you've got this linkage here to obviously open both shoes up. More attention to detail with all this brass finishing here, and that is the bike. I absolutely love this. It's so vintage, and essentially that is where Cafe started from, and this is one of my favorite of the entire fleet. Now there is the other one, there is the CB400 as well, which is also on the Cafe Racer channel on Discovery, and next episode we'll be covering that as well. Obviously, having not built these bikes myself, I don't know enough of the story to explain it all, but if you want to find out more, then head to Diamond City Cycles. Onto the link, you can actually find the videos of these being built as well and find out more about it. There's a lot of story behind it, especially the CB400 there. From what I've seen, it came in the back of a trailer and it was pretty much a wreck. So that is all from me. If you like what you see, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to Diamond City Cycles' channel as well, and I will see you next week.